mood, many more classic game mood.
Witness my power! How's that?
Form ranks!
Well, alright, it's like 2010 again on the PSP. Who's ready for some super nerdy tactical RPG strategy? That's right. Everyone.
Understood.
Though, when I think of cool video game titles, I think of games like Doom and Diablo, Truxton, and Birdweek.
Got it.
I don't think of the Diofield Chronicles, but don't let the lack of an exciting name distract you from this cool game being played here on the PlayStation 5. This takes me back to what I consider, at least in my head, the glory days of PSP RPG, like tactical strategy games from Atlas, even though this is from Square Enix. It just feels very similar. Though it may look a bit confusing if you don't know what's going on, so let me guide you through the gameplay. For starters, skip all the cutscenes.
Dukende.
Do you really care about that guy? No. Do you care about her fancy boots? Nope.
No less.
Do any of us really want to hear about their warring factions and political motives? No, not at all. You know what I'm here for? To nuke monsters from orbit.
Rowtail's other nations respond by forming an alliance to combat.
Though some people may enjoy the reasons for the combat in the Diofield Chronicles or any games like this, I find enduring the plotline to be about as much fun as listening to the Trade Federation in Star Wars. Like, I don't care who's taxing who, I just want to see somebody get cut in half with a lightsaber.
To be honest.
Perhaps they're after some rare treasures.
Where do you get those fancy boots? Though there is a plot, I wasn't really paying attention. What I was paying attention to is the gameplay, which is a lot of fun if you dig tactical strategy games. And this one is pretty interesting. I'm not sure exactly what to compare it to. It's like a hybrid combination of a turn-based tactical strategy game and a real-time tactical strategy game.
On my way.
Like you're giving commands on the fly, but every time you do, the gameplay stops. So it's like a stop and start kind of feel. It takes a little while to get into it, but once you do, once I got into it, I found that it was a lot of fun and surprisingly engaging after a while. It just takes a bit of time to get into the controls and the mechanics. And I'll try my best here to explain that because it's actually very cool, despite me making fun of the plot. So, like most of these games, you start off with a handful of characters, all of whom have great hair. And as you plow your way through missions in the Diofield Chronicle, it's singular, not plural. Wish they called this game Birdweek. Did they ever make Birdweek Tactics? I feel like that's one that someone needs to get on. Anyway, where was I? As you plow your way through missions, you meet new people and gain new characters, and everyone's leveling up and getting new magic spells, and you're crafting new weapons that are more powerful, but the enemies get more powerful. So, it's like a kind of consistent difficulty level up to a point when you reach one of these missions where you just get flattened. And then at least I had to start thinking about how to approach each mission strategically rather than just trying to overpower the enemy because they kick your ass at some point. So you can switch characters out at least, I think, up to 3 times in a battle. Keep that in mind because it's easy to forget that.
Is that all you have?
And another key strategy is to not try to attack all of the enemies at once. So try to draw them out and pick them off one at a time if possible. And get them grouped together so that you can drop meteors on them. Like, you can't go wrong dropping meteors on people. Okay, so what the hell's going on here? Well, I'm the 4 characters on the bottom, and they've all got basic attacks, and you select them, and you can tell them what to do during the battle, like attack that guy, kill that thing, and they'll go do that. But what you really need to use is their like special magic powers.
Here goes.
And they only have a limited amount of that, so you got to keep an eye on it certainly later in the game. And each character also has a sub-character. So you pick the one guy with nice hair and pair them with the girl with the fancy boots. And they work as a team to slaughter the undead minions of Duke What's-His-Name, who's fighting for a cause against the Church of whatever it's called.
Got it. Sorry to keep you waiting.
The Empire!
So as you see, the game stops and starts a lot as you give commands, which gives you plenty of time to think, but not a lot of time to react once it starts moving again. And sometimes you'll see a lot of red on the screen. When the enemies are charging up an attack, you want to either stun them or move out of the way, because if you get hit, you're screwed. And those glowing orbs around the playfield either refill your health, your magic, or your super special monster space attack.
Fall into ranks. I will perform a magical ritual. Got it.
As you make your way through the fairly lengthy plot, you can go back and replay missions, which is pretty important to both get a hang of the gameplay and also to level up the characters. You can spend a lot of time crafting weapons and like fine-tuning things, but each battle usually plays out the same way. The first wave of enemies is pretty easy to eliminate. Save your magic for the next wave of enemies, and then there's like a third wave, sometimes supported by cannons and dragons and stuff later in the game. Which includes multiple bosses and stuff, and it's best to try to approach that strategically, group them together, freeze them, and then nuke them from orbit.
Oh my, this is not ideal. Who's next?
The Diofield Chronicle! I just checked Amazon. It's also on the Switch. And I've been saying the name wrong the whole time. The Diofield Chronicles is not the name of the game, but it's their fault for giving it a boring name that I immediately forgot. When's the last time you misspoke Earth Defense Force? Never! Doom! I gotta say that every now and then just to clear out the cobwebs.
I'll teach you a lesson.
Certainly doesn't look like God of War or Gran Turismo 7 or something, but it plays pretty well once you get the hang of the controls. And I haven't played a tactical RPG in quite some time, so it was fun to get back into it and check out something that I frankly haven't heard anything about, and I've enjoyed it. It's not the best game in the genre, but it's also far from the worst.
Show you. Take.
And it brings back those cozy memories of spending hours on the PSP. But maybe that's just me, I don't know. For you, maybe that's the R-Zone. In which case, I'm sorry.
I'll destroy you.
The Diofield Chronicle, singular. I'm not going back to re-record the rest of it, so now you know. And knowing is half the battle, the other half is killing enemies from space with dragons.
Did you say something?
No?